Albert Lee. Okay, well, let's play e4 here. See how Albert responds. e4, e5. Hey, maybe we'll get a classical opening. Indeed, the Ruy Lopez. So we're pretty evenly matched for this contest. He's playing the main line here, attacking the pawn, a castle, which indirectly defends it. Yeah, so he's playing the closed Ruy Lopez. Here, let's defend the pawn now that he's blocked the E file. Okay, he's kicking the bishop back. And playing d6. So he's not going for a he's not going for a martial attack, so just the main line. Main line closed Ruy Lopez. Yeah, after he castles, then you play h3 here. And isn't that rare? Usually they start chasing the bishop at this point. He didn't want to allow me to put something on the g4 square, I guess. I think I still proceed with the same plan here. He's kind of a step behind in the center now that he took time out to play that h6 move. So if he attacks my bishop, I can actually take the pawn on the pawn on e5, right? He goes knight a4, I play pawn takes. He takes my bishop, I take back. So yeah, so he felt compelled to take there. So this should be a good version of the opening for me. Now I don't have to give up the bishop pair here. I can just drop it back to c2 and defend things. And he gets that move in. Okay. So yeah, so this is similar to the main line, Chigorin variation, except that he's traded off the e-pawn and he's played h6. Let's see, with the trade of the e-pawn, he's given me the c3 square for my knight, so I could play knight c3 here. This is defended. If he takes, I just take back. If he kicks my knight, I run over to the king side, which is often what it wants to do anyway. And this pawn is securely defended. His knight is defended. I don't see any weaknesses or any reason to trade here. Trading would just lead to a queen trade, it looks like, and I don't know if that really is in my favor at this point. So he brings his bishop out, looking at the e-pawn. That's still defended. But I could consider closing the center with d5 here, now that his bishop is on this side. And then bring my knight over to the king side. So if I just kick his knight, he's heading for the e5 square. So kicking it is just helping it go where it wants to go. So after knight e5, I will trade it off and have a passed pawn here. So I will allow it to go there. But, well, there's no need to rush things. Okay. He's got two knights pointed at the e5 square. So maybe I should have rushed things. But, well, I can still harass his knight a bit here. Let's kick it once. going to kick it, I'm going to trade it, and then I'm going to play F4 there, I think, if he takes with the knight. So F4, his knight has no squares to go to going forward. It has to go back. It can go to G6 or to D7 where it came from. And that's it. And on G6 it's hitting this pawn, but the pawn is still defended. I think that's good. I mean, I am opening up a diagonal towards my king, so there is a potential danger there. And he went to D7. He didn't bother with going to G6. Interesting. So I think I want to open up the center and push these guys forward. Get the knight out of the way first, I guess. Knight to G3. The knight on G3 is looking at the F5 square. That looks good. I just noticed he could play bishop to F6, hitting my rook. The rook has G8. There's also pawn to E5, hitting the bishop immediately. Pawn takes, bishop takes. But he's got bishop and knight on it. Yeah, so that's no good. I really need to get in bishop to B7, it looks like. Bishop B2, rather. Bishop B2 on this diagonal. Yeah, the combination of bishop to B2 and knight to F4 looks good. Even if he gets to F6 first, I mean, I can bring my knight here. Bring my rook to B1 and bishop to B2 anyway. His bishop on B7 is still not doing much. A lot of times they will push the c-pawn forward in this Chigorin variation so that the knight can come to the C5 square. Looks at the center. I guess I also have queen to D3 and pawn to E5, just threatening checkmate there. Queen D3, he can push the pawn forward. So he brings the knight there first. Okay. So, as I was saying, queen d3, or starting to say, he can push the pawn forward to c5, and I can take it, and he can take, and that knocks my queen off that diagonal. So let's start with this move, this bishop to b2 move, preparing knight to f4. And I'm going to ignore that for now, right? Because if he pushes forward, I'm just going to take it, and if he takes, I will take back with the pawn, keeping control of that square. So I don't want to take, actually. So let's bring my knight in. I'm actually threatening on G7 at this point. You know, maybe I should have brought my queen out first, because I would have made this a much bigger threat. Queen here. Yeah, we could have done the knight move with a double threat. Okay. Yeah, this is not accurate the way I played this, because now, if I just defend the bishop, he can push this pawn forward and shut down that diagonal. Well, queen to... I have to defend the bishop. Queen to... I don't want to take and bring his queen out, I mean. And my queen coming over here to g4 is still interesting, even if he takes or pushes that pawn forward. So I still have this idea here. And I also have queen to d3 now. Once again, I have queen d3. So queen d3 or queen to g4. What's more interesting? Queen g4 comes with a double threat. And I can still push this pawn forward here, right? So now he brings his queen out. Yeah, hitting my rook. That's annoying. He was probably planning that. So, because if I drop my rook back, which was my first response, then he takes the bishop. So that's no good. I can push this pawn forward, however. He takes, I take, and then he has to move the queen. And he needs to stay in touch with these squares. So where's the queen going to go? Looks like it goes to g6 or g5. I've got to check. If he goes to g6, I've got to check. If he goes to g5, not quite sure. Anyway, let's push that pawn. Yeah, these massive pawns in the middle look threatening. Okay, yeah, so that was the square he couldn't play to. He had to go to g5. Right? Yeah, okay. He resigned there. Pretty interesting game, though, up until that sudden end. Let's check that out. Upload this and check it out in the postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.